This is a disappointment indeed. Our friends over in the House, we thank them as well. I regret that our efforts were simply not enough.
Mitch McConnell there expressing his disappointment. For more, our politics reporter Kathleen Hunter joins us now on the phone. Kathleen, it was a very late night, of course, in Washington. Dramatic night on the Senate floor. Break down what happened for us. All of this coming to a head, really, around 1:30 in the morning, Washington time.
Exactly. It was certainly a dramatic night in the Senate, as you said. I think one of the most notable things is that, as a reporter, these are the fun nights to cover because so much of what happens in Congress is scripted. We know the outcome before it starts. And so when they have these votes where, you know, they're actually deciding live, the outcome is unknown, it certainly makes for good political theater. In this case, it kind of came down to really John McCain. He was one of 3 Republicans that voted against the proposal in the end, and the other 2, Susan Collins of Maine and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, were pretty clear on their position beforehand. So it really came down to McCain and how he was going to vote. He had a lengthy conversation with Mitch McConnell on the floor, and in the end ended up voting against the proposal, which meant that Republicans who have such a slim margin in the Senate weren't able to advance. And certainly this is a huge, huge setback for the president and for Republicans in Congress.
Kathleen, I'm a little confused about what is going on with John McCain here. He gave this blustery speech about how it's seemingly wrong to prepare legislation behind closed doors and then spring it on everybody if it's so partisan. Then he ended up voting for that legislation, and now he's voted against the skinny repeal. What's going on with John McCain here?
Well, I think part of this is kind of the way in which the Senate works, which is quite arcane. McCain's position has been that he wants to have a full and open debate on a health care proposal. So his office said after his vote the other day to support an earlier version of the legislation, that was more of a procedural vote, and that they viewed it as a way to actually open debate on the legislation and get to the point that we got to tonight, which is where you were having a substantive vote on an actual proposal. And so in their minds, it's consistent, but it certainly is, at least seemingly on its face, you're voting yes on one thing, no on another thing, and it becomes a little bit confusing.